Grace. It's good to see you again.
Hello, good to see you too.
As part of our session today, I'd like for you to share a really significant event in your life. A lot of times it really helps us to tell a story about something that was meaningful, or a time that when you were really happy, or maybe a time when you were really sad. And maybe this would help us understand a little bit more about why you're feeling depressed and anxious. Okay?
All right.
Can you think of a significant event or something that might fall into that category?
I think I've got something. Back in college, I was dating this boy named Steve.
Okay.
And
Good.
honestly, that was one of the best points in my life.
All right, that's the kind of event I'm talking about.
That's
so tell me about that.
Okay, well, it was typical college stuff. You hung out a lot in between classes, and we'd even take classes together sometimes and make sure that our schedules matched.
Right.
We would always meet each other for lunch, dinner. His dorm was right across the building across from ours.
Okay.
Like me and my roommates, and it was just a lot of fun. We went to ball games together. We got food places, and it was just fun. We had a lot of fun together. It was really, like I said, one of the better times of my life.
So you have lots of positive, good memories about this time.
Yeah, I do, but then they kind of get overrode in the fact that around my senior year, we had been dating a couple of years then, and he just broke up with me. Just out of the blue, I ran into him in the cafeteria after I tried to call him and he wouldn't answer. And he stated just, okay, it's over, I don't want to talk to you anymore. And I was like a freaking doormat. I sat there and just said, okay, and just let him walk off.
Yeah. That must have been really difficult.
It was very difficult.
Well, that's the exact kind of event I was talking about. And let's think about how you felt around that time. Okay. You said you felt like a doormat. Mm-hmm. Can you tell me a little bit more about what you were feeling?
I feel like a loser. I just flat out loser. No one's ever going to love me again. I thought honestly that we would be together forever. You know, that stereotypical, this is the one that you see in commercials and on movies and television. And honestly, I'm just not the kind of person that anyone they don't really like. They don't approach me. I should have just known that he couldn't really love me. I mean, he was popular and funny and handsome, and I'm who I am. I'm not exactly, top-notch material here, so yeah, he could have done better, and I think he realized that.
Well, I hear you saying that it was a really difficult time for yourself, for you, and it sounds like there are lots of things that you're feeling about you that I want us to talk about just a little bit more. But how did you handle this situation? Because it sounds like it was really difficult, and you were really sad, and I'm sure this took you quite by surprise. This is not how you thought things were going to end up.
It was out of the blue.
Right. So can you tell me a little bit about how you handled the situation? Because obviously it was very stressful and very sad for you.
First thing was I started working out a lot more than usual.
Okay.
Physical
So you were going to the gym and running, that type of thing?
Run, lift weights, that seemed to just ease pain a lot. I also actually started studying more in my school because I think, let go of that more when I was focused on the relationship.
Sure.
That kind of came in second place a lot of times. I also decided to take a break from dating for a while.
All right.
And
that's exactly what I'm thinking about. And I want you to think about now, instead of this being such a terrible time in your life, let's think about how it could be framed in a different way. Okay, can we do that?
Yeah, we can.
All right. I've heard you say a lot of negative things about yourself, like you're a loser, I'll never love again, I'm a doormat, etc. But let's look at all the positive traits. Number one, this was probably your first serious relationship. You guys were pretty young, and it was the first time that either of you had probably had a serious relationship.
And away from home.
Right,
on the road too,
exactly. So even though it seemed really terrible at the time, and it was, look at the positive ways you dealt with the situation. All right? What I heard you say was that you started working out, you started studying more, and obviously you've graduated from college now.
Yeah, true.
And you have a job, and so you dealt with this in a very mature way, even though you were devastated.
Okay.
So what I would like for you to do is to think about how you can retell your story, and instead of focusing on the fact that this was a really sad time for you, you dealt with it in a very positive way. And
Okay.
you showed a lot of very strong character traits. So what I'd like for you to do before next time, if you would, is I would just like for you to think about another significant event in your life.
Okay.
Okay? And what I would like for you to do is write in your journal about that event. And I want it to be something that has some negative aspects, but I
Okay.
want you to think about all the positive things that you did in reacting to that.
So kind of start with the negative
And make it into a positive.
possibly list out positives in the situation.
Exactly.
So, okay.
So if it's a significant event like, let's say, graduating from college, or if it's a negative event, I just would like for you to list all of the different things that you feel like that you did that were very positive.
Okay.
So that these stories, instead of being a negative experience for you, can become a positive experience.
Okay, I sort of get, I can try that.
All right, very good. And we'll work on this together next time.
Okay,
Right?
that sounds good.
Okay.